In life, you are bound to make many mistakes, and if you don't learn from those mistakes, you will be haunted by them for the rest of your life. And that's certainly the case of Vlade Divac, the GM of the Sacramento Kings, who instead of drafting Luka Doncic, went and got Marvin Bagley, who's not even on the Kings anymore. And to this day, he is still haunted by that decision, and an article that came out just a few days ago highlights a new quote from Vlade Divac that he gave to a Croatian newspaper detailing what happened on draft night and his decision to go with Marvin Bagley. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the article, see if Vlade Divac gets a pass now that enough time has passed and that Luka's doing well. They no longer have Marvin Bagley, but they've got De'Aaron Fox, as well as taking a closer look at Luka Doncic and why it's crazy for anyone to doubt how great of a player he truly is. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're sitting at 13,247 subs. You guys have been going crazy just smashing that subscribe button. We're on the road to 15,000 subs. I got a little personal goal of hitting 15K by the end of the year. And if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, if you want to be part of our giveaways, our live streams, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But like I said in the intro, sometimes you make mistakes in life, and that's bound to happen. In the world of sports, a lot of mistakes do happen. Whether you're a GM and you draft the wrong player, or you trade away a player a little bit too early, right before they were going to blow up, you gotta live with the decisions that you make, and you really have to look at it through the lens of what's best for the team. But we've seen it time and time again where sometimes the decisions of owners or GMs, they become a little bit more personal, and you want to make those decisions because you feel like that's your best decision. You're going to put all your own personal issues into your decision making, and that can really bite you in the butt. And obviously, as we all know, that Luka Doncic wasn't drafted by the Sacramento Kings. They decided to get Marvin Bagley, who also isn't even on the Sacramento Kings anymore. He is now on a Detroit Piston, as far as I know. And Luka Doncic is in Dallas fighting for a championship, who just went out and went to the finals, where the Kings, they're a much better team now. They did miss the playoffs, but with all due respect, they're not the Kings of how they used to be, of constantly missing the playoffs and not getting any good draft picks. Now they've got a good core. They just traded for DeMar DeRozan. They did miss the playoffs, but they had injuries that happened. So the Sacramento Kings could very much well be a contender next year, or another threat to the Dallas Mavericks. But as far as I'm concerned, the Dallas Mavericks' only threat is themselves. It's up to us whether or not we can make it to the finals and have a successful season. If we do, it's because we played great. And if we didn't, we only have ourselves to blame. But if we take a look here, we got an article saying Mavericks' blatant robbery of the Kings keeps getting worse. Well, let's take a look at what this blatant robbery was. We obviously know it's Luka Doncic. But Kings continue to overlook their mistake of not drafting Luka Doncic. Yet, it is crazy to think there was a small chance Doncic might not have been a Maverick. During the 2018 draft, the Sacramento Kings could have selected Doncic with the number 2 pick. However, they opted to go with Marvin Bagley III. The former Duke Blue Devil played 4 seasons with Sacramento before being traded to the Detroit Pistons. Like I said, you drafted someone else over Luka who isn't even there anymore. So if you want to save face, if you don't want to just admit to your mistakes, I get it. But like I said, if you don't own up to your mistakes, you're going to be living with that for the rest of your life. It's always going to be thrown in your face. We saw last season when we were playing the Kings, Luka Doncic was going crazy in the 4th, and he said while walking to the bench, "You should have drafted me." Looking right at Vlade Divac, "You should have drafted me," letting him know the mistakes you made 5-6 years ago will continue to haunt you today. But the article does continue, saying, "This supports the notion that the Kings screwed up by not taking Doncic with their 2nd pick. This is something the Kings have yet to admit." In a recent interview with a Croatian newspaper, former NBA player and Kings general manager Vlade Divac responded to the claim that Sacramento should have drafted Luka. "I already had De'Aaron Fox. Time will tell if I was wrong. As things stand now, it seems I was, but I still have faith in Fox having a great career." This means Divac has yet to fully admit he messed up by not drafting Luka. His statement of the time sums up that he continues to overlook his mistake. Now, I'm going to give Vlade Divac the benefit of the doubt. You made a decision. You want to stand by it. You may feel some type of pride or whatever if you admit that you were wrong. I get it. You want to be a staunch defender of your decisions. And as a GM who has to make those tough decisions, it would look foolish if every time you make a tough decision, you have to apologize for it. I mean, that's like us with the Mavericks when it comes to Nico Harrison. That's him. If he had to constantly come out and apologize, "Hey, I'm sorry that I went out and I got Davis Bertans. I'm sorry that I went out and I got Christian Wood." If Nico Harrison had to apologize for every bad move that he made while he was here for the last 3 years, you'd get sick and tired of it. So I'm going to give Vlade Divac some credit. Okay, you don't have to apologize for everything. But this isn't just some bad trade that happened or some role player that you picked up that didn't work out. This was a franchise-changing player. This was a player who could easily dominate for the next few years. A player who was obviously better than Marvin Bagley. Now, he said, I already had De'Aaron Fox, so okay, you thought positionally-wise that it wouldn't make sense to go and get Luka if you already have De'Aaron Fox. You wanted to pair him up with another big like Marvin Bagley. I get it. So why did you draft Tyrese Halliburton? Why was Tyrese Halliburton on the team? Because you drafted him when he was a rookie, and then you traded him over to Indiana. You got the team better. You made the right decision. So that's the only thing that I'm going to really give Vlade Divac is, was it really because you already had De'Aaron Fox? Was that the real reason why you didn't draft Luka? Because you went out and got Halliburton, but then you got rid of him. So maybe Vlade Divac learned from his mistakes when he drafted Halliburton, and maybe he's just growing as a GM. I'm trying to give him some credit. I don't want to just bag on Vlade Divac, but I don't know. It's kind of shaky. But if we continue with the article, the difference is Luka is a generational player who can have an immediate impact. The Dallas Star knows that. He let Divac know this last season. During a game in March, Luka let Divac know he made a mistake. As he was headed to the bench, Doncic turned to Divac and said, he should have drafted me. See, I told you, he should have drafted me. And that's true right there. Luka Doncic is a generational player, a generational talent. He was a winner before even coming to the NBA, and Vlade Divac knew this. Vlade Divac already knew the type of player Luka Doncic was, but whatever beef he has with Luka and his family, his father, whatever, obviously clouded his judgment, and you could say he made the wrong pick of Marvin Bagley. Maybe it was a good pick, but it just wasn't, enough done on the player and coaching side to really develop Marvin Bagley. He's been kind of bouncing around the league since he left Sacramento. Again, GMs, maybe Vlade had to grow as a GM, to get better at his job for the sake of the Sacramento Kings. Like I said in the beginning of this video, the Kings have been getting better ever since they got De'Aaron Fox and since they traded away Tyrese Halliburton to the Indiana Pacers. So yes, the Kings might have been, going in the right direction, but if we just take a look back in 2018, Vlade Divac, you made a mistake. Now, how good is Luka Doncic? I mean, Mavericks fans, we already know, but if you don't know, let's take a look at his stats. Last season, Luka Doncic put up 33.9 points, 9.2 rebounds, 9.8 assists, 0.5 blocks, 1.4 steals, 4 turnovers, 2.1 fouls per game, while shooting 48% from the floor and 38% from 3, having an MVP caliber season, and it was only criminal that this stat line, while also making it to the NBA Finals, while also dealing with injuries, did not award Luka Doncic with an MVP. He wasn't even in second place. He was third. He was behind SGA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got more first place votes than Luka Doncic, which is insanely criminal. But don't take my word for it. Let's see what the betting odds have to say. If we take a look right here, the 2024-2025 NBA MVP odds. This is the fourth time in the last 5 years that Luka Doncic was the betting favorite for MVP going into the season. Luka Doncic is continuously just one of the betting odds, and you can argue that throughout the season, the odds do change for a myriad of reasons. Injuries, a lot of things that people said last season when they chose Jokic as MVP was, oh, well, the record is better, whatever reason they want to throw there. Obviously, Luka's odds can fluctuate. But again, 4 times out of the last 5 years, he's the betting favorite. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. What's even more wild is if you look at this graphic at the very bottom, Bronny James is 90. He's at 90. He's in the top 100 for odds of getting MVP. Shout out to Bronny James. But a couple other names on this list. You got John Morant at 10. Jason Tatum at 9, Victor Wembanyama at 8, Jalen Brunson at 7, Anthony Edwards at 6, Giannis at 5, Joel Embiid at 4, SGA at 3, Nikola Jokic at 2, and Luka Doncic at 1. And with at least the top 5 MVP odds, those are all players that it could go either way. You have Jokic and Joel have already won an MVP. Giannis already won an MVP. SGA was in second place last year. So you could argue that next season, although Luka right now is the betting favorite, it could obviously change amongst those 5, depending on the team's success, obviously. But I think making it to the finals last year definitely gives Luka just a leg up. But if we take a look at just one more thing, if anybody wants to doubt how great Luka Doncic is, he is only 25 years old. And he is a 5-time All-NBA first-team selection, 5-time All-Star, 2 Western Conference Finals appearances, a scoring champ. He also just made the finals and Rookie of the Year. He's on trajectory to be one of the all-time greats, and this isn't even including that before he was drafted, he won a EuroLeague MVP and championship. Luka Doncic is a winner, and I don't know, if you had told me that, hey, this kid coming up about to get drafted into the NBA, here is his accolades, he's crazy good. If you showed me everything about Luka before I had to make a decision to draft him, and I don't draft him, and I can't admit that I made that mistake, I got to live with that for the rest of my life. So if Vlade Divac wants to just always be reminded of the mistake he made, he's just going to continue to deny that anything really happened, that he's standing firm on what he believes in. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that Vlade Divac should openly just admit that I made a mistake? You know, I should have drafted Luka? Or do we just not care? Me personally, I don't really care. I find it funny. At any chance I have to just dunk on Vlade Divac, I'm going to do it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway. The winner will be announced the first week of October. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.